So, I don't know, that might be what we should come back to.
Well, John and I met through eHarmony. We had been through many other relationships, and I hit 30, and it was one of those situations where it was time to reevaluate the type of men that I was dating. So I decided that I obviously wasn't making the best decisions on my own, and I figured that another source might be helpful in addressing what would be the most appropriate candidate for me. And so we met through eHarmony, and as soon as I saw his profile, I knew that there was something special there.
Oh, well, we met online, so I say that I ordered her off the internet, custom made.
The first thing that I noticed was that there was just something in his eyes that it drew me in. He was very clearly an intelligent individual, and there was something else that just made me feel at home already, just looking into his eyes in his picture.
That's what I thought, that she was the one. Just I saw the picture and her description and just online, and I just wanted to see if she was interested. I figured I'd pursue her. And
John and I had our first date in a very public setting. I still wasn't sure if he was one of those online crazies. So we wanted to play it safe, and we went to Sorrento's, the Italian restaurant in Anchorage. And the moment I saw him, it was just, there was a connection. And so we drug dinner out as long as we possibly could. And then decided that we couldn't stop it right there, and we decided that, of course, dinner and a movie is a pretty standard thing, and so we went to a movie afterwards. But I made him make me, or let me drive, because I still wasn't sure if he was, completely okay. Mom and Dad wouldn't have approved if I'd let some psycho drive me off, but
So what was the movie?
the movie was Terrible Bosses. It was whatever was playing at the time, but it was hilarious. So it was rather fitting.
oh, it was a real tame. Where was our first date? It was a real tame date. We went out for Italian, because you can't go wrong with Italian. Then we decided that we would negotiate if we wanted to continue the date later, because we're meeting online. You don't really know if people are being honest about who they are. And so we went to dinner, and we both saw right away that we wanted to go ahead and catch a movie too. And I never wanted the date to end. I could have been an all-night date. I would have liked that. But it was a relatively short date, just dinner and a movie. And then I wanted to give her a chance to go her separate way and me go my separate way, and get an honest answer of whether she's interested in seeing me again. And she was. So
Gosh, John and I actually had not dated until we'd been writing each other for a while, and just from the responses that we were getting via eHarmony and the things that we were discussing, it was obvious that there was a connection there. But it was probably just a couple of months into our dating when I finally realized for sure that not only was I in love with this guy and willing to admit it, but that he was absolutely perfect for me. It was actually when my cat passed away. I had about a 10-year-old cat that had been with me my entire adult life and had seen me through all sorts of trials, and he was always my go-to. So when he suddenly passed away, I was beyond distraught. I was a complete mess, and John dealt with me perfectly. I mean, he was just so caring and so sweet and so thoughtful, and he was able to give me the space that I needed, but at the same time recognize when I needed the comfort. And it was that moment where this is the guy that's perfect for me.
I knew you were in love.
I don't even know if we were dating yet. It sounds kind of creepy, but that's how sure I was just from seeing her the first time. Yeah. But we met online, so we agreed to go on a date after some correspondence. It took quite a while, it seemed like. I think it was 2 or 3 weeks of sending letters back and forth before we finally actually went out on the first date. And I thought it went really well, and she did too, and we decided to keep on seeing each other.
Oh, John and I have a fantastic proposal story. John and I had been dating for probably 6 months when Christmas came around, and it was time to identify what the big gift was for the year. And he admitted to me that he hadn't been back home to Arizona for over 10 years. And it was always something that he regretted not doing. And so I bought him a ticket back to Arizona and said, go see your friends, go see your family. And, you know, if you want company, I'd be happy to come along. And we had, of course, he chose to take me with him. But we decided that we were going to make arrangements to go to Arizona the following spring. And work got crazy and we had to postpone it. So last summer is when we were finally able to go to Arizona and visit his best friend who he hadn't seen in 10 years and his family, and do the whole Arizona trip. And we flew down there and took 2 weeks to drive through Arizona and Utah and ended up in Wyoming and met his best friend, hiked down into the Grand Canyon. It was amazing. And then we backtracked to Sedona, Arizona, and took me on a helicopter tour over the city, which is just absolutely gorgeous. And then we went on a sunset Jeep tour up through the mountains, and it was incredible. And right there in front of our little group that we were traveling with, he pops the question as our guide is taking pictures of us. You should have seen our guide's face. He didn't know if he should keep filming, if he should stop. He was so surprised. Everybody was so surprised. I was surprised, and it was perfect. I've never been so happy.
Well, that was an easy one for me. I got all the cards fell in my lap. We were going to Arizona anyways, and there was a few different places I could propose that were just ideal, and ended up proposing in Sedona, and I had all the resources I would ever need to make it a good proposal there. We did a helicopter tour in the afternoon, and that rolled right into a sunset Jeep tour out into the Red Rocks, and I got to propose to her at sunset, and a lot of people were getting their pictures taken by the guide anyways, so I handed him the camera and got down on one knee and surprised everybody.
The thing that I love the most about John is the fact that he knows how to make me laugh when I'm stressed out beyond belief, which happens a lot, and I'm overwhelmed, and most people just skirt around me and go and hide. He knows how to make me laugh and come out of it and just realize that everything can be fun and everything can be just fine if I just laugh a little, take things a little less seriously, and it's perfect.
What does she do that you just love?
Has to be sentimental things, I guess, even though it's something I'm not good at, but she's really good at it, and just all the things she puts in the cards, and she's always planning things for other people. She's very selfless, and this ties in with the event planning stuff. she always wants to throw parties and just really make people feel good about an event that's focused around them.
That's fantastic.
I don't think what I'm saying is anywhere near on par with what she said.